What's up guys, we're doing a video on some coding with BimmerCode today, and we're going to be setting up the temperature gauge inside your BMW. So let me flip the camera around, show you guys what I'm talking about, and then I'm going to show you the full process end to end, how to do it. So if you look here on my M2, you see there's a temperature gauge right here, and I made a whole video pretty much explaining how it works. So if you want to check that out, check that out. Now firstly, make sure your BMW is actually compatible with the temperature gauge, because most BMWs you can actually code this feature in, but it's not going to function. It's not going to work at all. I had that issue on my M240i where I could code the actual gauge in, but it would never move. But on my M2, which is a year older than my M240i was, it works perfectly. I already have it coded in. So what I'm going to basically show is on BimmerCode how to remove it and then add it. So I'm basically showing you both ends of the process. Now there are two prerequisites to this. Firstly, you need an app called BimmerCode. I'll put a link in the description. You need BimmerCode. There is another app, I want to say it's Carly or something like that, that also lets you do this, but I'm doing BimmerCode because it just, I think, is a better app for BMW specific things. You also need a Bluetooth adapter. I have one from VPeak. This is the one I recommend. I've been using this one for like 3-4 years now in every single BMW. So I have a link in the description. That is an affiliate link. There is actually a code down there, a link in the description for a limited time. It's like up until March 19th. So depending on when you're watching this video, it may not apply, but the link is there if you want to get 15% off of it. And here's my adapter. This is what it looks like. So there's a port down here that we're going to plug it into. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. Okay, now that we have BimmerCode loaded up, we're going to connect. Select the adapter. I have VPeak OBD. Hit connect. Then you're going to have to select the correct car. For me, it's the 2 Series / BMW M2 because this is an M2. There you go. Hit continue. And we're going to wait for this. I'm going to cut out all the loading screens, so we're just going to cut right to the actual menu. Now that we're in here, we're going to scroll down to instrument cluster. Let that one load up. Now that we're in here, we're going to go down to the bottom where it says expert mode. It's going to give you a warning. Hit continue. You're going to go into the first one, number 3000, and you are going to search motor temp. Motor temp enable. You can see mine says active, so I'm going to, that means it's on. I'm going to select not active to turn it off. Hit back, back again, and we're going to hit code here. It's going to give you a warning. Start coding. Coding successful. So if we go to my dash, let me grab the camera here. Now if you see here, if I click the BC button to cycle through the menus, it will cycle through pretty much everything except for the temperature gauge, because the temperature gauge no longer exists. So now let me do the process in reverse and show you how to get the temperature gauge onto your dash. Now that we're back in here, we're going to go back to configuration, look for motor temp again, motor temp enable, select active, back, code, start coding. So that's going to put the temperature gauge back into the car. So if you never had it in the first place, that is the process. It's pretty straightforward. It's not as complicated as other things where you have to code multiple different things and different ECUs of the car. This one is just a straightforward instrument cluster. Code this, done. Now the first time you do it, especially if it's your first time playing around with BimmerCode, you'll have a bunch of things pop up on the dash. Just let the car kind of cycle through what it has to do. That depends on which part of the car you're coding. If you're coding stuff in the gauge cluster or kind of the head unit, occasionally you'll have to like reset the time and date. But for the most part, you're not really going to have any issues. Nothing's going to flag. The car's going to be a-okay. And you can always go down here to backups and pretty much select the backup that you want to load. Worst case scenario, if you code something you didn't want, you can always revert back to it. So now if we cycle through, there you go. It's going to give us the temperature gauge, and it shows okay right in the middle. Now I just got back from the gym not too long ago, so the car's already well warmed up, so I can't really demonstrate kind of it going from cold to okay, but there you go. That is the gauge. Now if you load up this gauge and it just stays in the middle or stays right here and never moves, unfortunately that just means your car is not compatible with the gauge despite being able to code it in. So that's it for that. On BimmerCode, you can just hit disconnect at the bottom, unplug your adapter from the OBD2 port, and that's it. You're done. I hope you guys found this video helpful. It's kind of a short little coding video. If you like this video, found it helpful, leave it a like. Subscribe if it's your first time on my channel. It would really mean a lot, as I'm really trying to make that final push towards 1,000 subscribers to get monetized. I have all the other criteria except the subscribers. That's the only thing I need left. I just need 1,000. So if you can subscribe, that would mean a lot. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Till next time.